podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I am your host, Crimson Sin. Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Amphibia Season 2, Episode 4, and Hunter. This is another just fun episode, and I've said this before in Season 1 because Sprig went crazy. Anytime a character kind of goes nuts and they start like hallucinating, I like those episodes because it's just funny to see your characters go completely insane. Anne doesn't go over the top crazy, but she just has like this hallucination, and then she just accepts it, which is super funny because normally when a character goes crazy, they're all loopy and weird. No, she's just full on just, oh, okay, it's an hallucination, let's do this, and just goes along with it. We open up and the family is waiting for dinner or lunch because they're camping out like in a swamp. This is gonna be a long journey, and they kind of already ran out of food. You gotta plan better than that, so they're gonna have just Hot Pop makes dinner.
Okay, dinner's ready.
Woohoo!
Yeah! I'm starving.
Now hold on to your butts. Bam! Stick surprise.
Stick surprise. Why even take the time of pulling it out of a cauldron and like why even do that? It's just a stick. I'm sure there's probably edible plants that are around, but they just don't even attempt that. It's like, oh crap, we don't want to eat a nasty stick. And then Polly's been hiding cookies for herself, which is pretty mean that she kept it for herself and for no one else. Anne's feeling super bad because like, oh, you guys came out here because to help me find out what to get me back home. We're all going to starve to death. And like, oh no, we're not going to starve. We're gonna have to hunt. And of course, they're frogs. They are predators. They do hunt smaller bugs, and then that's what they're. I thought, oh, okay, that's what they're going to end up doing. Anne has this Hunger Games fantasy where she's like this master huntress, and she's like running through the forest and everything. I remember seeing this in the trailer, thinking, when the hell is this going to happen? And it was totally just a freaking fantasy. But she has this whole cool little dream about like, oh yeah, I'm going to be this awesome hunter, so let me do the hunting. And Sprig's like, hey, I'll take her with me. I'll teach her the hunt, the way how planters hunt. So I'm like, okay, it's going to be some kind of crazy way that they do things. But they're like, okay, just be careful because there could be poisonous monsters out there. They can even be psychic, poison and psychic. That's a Pokemon reference, right? The different types. That's a poison psychic type. Don't worry, Hot Pop. We're going to go out there. I want to show her just the way you showed me. And I guess then he's just like eating mud. And Anne's like, this is super freaking gross. I don't want to do this. Oh, this is how you get in tune with nature, where you have to, taste the ground, and then you got to listen. You got to do all those things and be one with nature. And Anne's like, no way. I just when I'm going to get a cool weapon, give me a crossbow that shoots kunai, or like a crossbow and all these things. I like how Sprig, his answer is like, no. I love the faces. I love these faces. She's like, no, we got to do things this way. We have to do the ways that we've learned it, and we're going to hunt these little grub guys. And they look like eclairs, and they look like they taste good, but it's also super gross because they're really big. So they're probably like, and it's like a giant slug, right? Like a bug. So it's all probably slimy and they don't show you eat when they eat them, but I'm assuming these things are filled with some type of cream. Oh, geez, it's so gross. But they find these little things, and then Spur's like, okay, after you listen to the earth and everything in the ground, you have to use your environment. So he builds like a little trough with a hole, so it will draw them into this little pit so they can collect them. Even though they're super slow, just pick them up. Like, why go through all this? Then he's like, the most important part of all, there's the hunter's dance. And it's meant to confuse and distract. So he's
Dance? What do you mean, oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me.
he's doing this little thing. He's all shaking his butt. And Anne's like, oh God, no. She covers her eyes. I really don't want to see this. Oh, come on, Anne. This is the way you do it. This is how you feel the rhythm of the jungle and everything. Which is true that the nature has its own rhythm. So Sprig's doing his little dance, and it's working. It's doing its job apparently, because it's making these little grub things work their way into that little pit. So I guess it worked. It's super weird, but it actually worked. Then Anne's like, you know what? Well, I can catch these guys pretty easy. Look, she just walks up and picks one up. They're probably really stupid. They don't even have a brain. And then these things are like, man, that's super mean of you. They're sentient things, Anne, but you're gonna end up eating them anyway. So whatever. Spur's like, no, you can't do that. You have to use the rhythm of the forest of nature. And it's like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. You go do it your way, and I'm gonna go do it my way. Then we'll catch twice as many. So I'll just keep going, and she's gonna walk off a cliff because she wasn't paying attention. Spur's like, no. See, he saves her. Oh, I saw that. Like, and you would have totally killed yourself. Then in classic Amphibia, the way that they do their monsters, like these little bug guys. Oh, they're kind of cute and kind of gross at the same time. Then we get this thing. Oh my god, this is like a nightmare monster, and it's like the Predator. Even the sound of Sprig speaking is exactly like how the Predator in the first Predator film. I just love all these hilarious callbacks to things that kids possibly. little kid watching the show watch Predator, but it's amazing. I love the heat vision. So Anne's out there catching some more of these little dudes, and she hears the family screaming, "Oh no, they're in trouble!" So she runs after out there. Camp's deserted. Bessie got left behind. I thought this thing didn't eat Bessie. Like, where's the family at? And then she looks up, and my goodness, this thing is absolutely frightening. They really want to scare kids, don't they? This thing is a complete nightmare monster. It's like a wolf and a scorpion mixed together, and its jaw like opens up. It's pretty freaking scary. And I like how the family's like, they're worried, but they're not too worried. It's Amphibia. Watch out, Anne. It still might be psychic. Yes, that's the most important part of the thing. It might be psychic. No, it's a giant monster that can kill me in one bite. It takes off with the family, but Polly's she calls them biscuits. It's funny how British people call cookies biscuits, but the little biscuit falls out of her little bow and then it fits the ground. I like how Anne's like, "Oh, you food hoarder, you had food this whole time." But she's like, "Oh no, I gotta save the family. I can track them," because she saw that it broke some branches, and that's a good way to track an animal. If it ran up against a tree or something, some of its fur will come off, and then you can track an animal that way. So Anne's like, "I can totally do this." Goes out there. "I totally can't do this." Like, she doesn't know what she's doing. Then she gets like this is the part where I was talking about where she kind of has a freak out. And I love when characters go crazy. You see like a spirit Sprig. It's like, "Oh my God, Sprig, you're dead. This is your ghost." He's like, "No, I'm not dead. I'm just a stress-induced hallucination." She's like, "Okay, I like that." Then she just goes along with it. She accepted her madness. That's the first step, is acceptance. Then she's like, "Okay, so what do I need to do?" "Okay, you have to track the way that the planners we taught you." "Yeah, okay, let's do that." What was the first one? You have to track the animal. How do I do that? Like, she didn't remember anything that Sprig told her. Remember, you have to eat like the dirt. Like, you have to sniff it, then you have to eat it. And it's like, "Wait a second, I can taste Polly's biscuits or cookies are in here, so I know which way to go." She starts to chase him down and everything, and then she's like, "Oh no, I got this." Then they start playing the song. I'm gonna play some of it. God, I wish I could play the whole thing because I just love the music in the show is really funny.
When the hunt is on and the moon is high, you can hunt the hunt, only if you try, but you better hurry up.
And the gag is right at the end. So it's like playing the song about her being this great huntress, but she keeps kind of failing. Like, the log falls apart. She falls off a vine. And the whole time, this wasn't just a song for us, the viewer. This crazy stress-induced hallucination was singing the song the whole time.
Your family will die.
You really need to stop that.
Okay.
I love the comedy so good. Then, just like in every Amphibia, there's like a level of like creepiness. We get to where I'm assuming it's lair where it lives, and you see like frog bones everywhere. Like, so it thing just kills frogs. It loves to eat them. So that's pretty creepy to see, but all these skeletons all around. And then it's about to eat the family. And Anne's like, "Okay, we have to. What's the next step? Oh, I have to use the environment." So she's gonna dig a pit like Sprig did. But then even the hallucination, like, "Come on, no, you're running out of time here. It's gonna totally eat the family. Look at this thing. It's a freaking monster." She digs the pit and covers it up with some leaves. Okay, and it's time for the absolute best part. You have to do that stupid dance, and Anne still doesn't want to do it because she even though she does like dancing, this is like a silly dance with no music, and he just kind of. So she goes out there and she half hearts it. She's doing like a little dance, and it's like whatever. It goes back to gonna go kill the family. "No, Anne, you have to let the rhythm move through you. You have to really listen to the forest and follow its beats." So she starts to listen, and then she starts getting down on all fours.
That's it. Let it take hold of you.
The way that Sprig did, and she starts doing the crazy little dance. It's so crazy. I just absolutely love it. She's all flaring her arms everywhere, and then it's funny how this thing has heat vision. The dance is letting off like waves of heat, so I guess that's how it's distracting him. So it starts to look at Anne, and while Anne's doing all these things, "I am the hunter," and all these things like that, whatever, "I filled the forest," she starts doing all kinds of funny moves like the worm and everything, and then the little like the running man. Yes, the running man. That is a 90s dance if there ever was one. Starts bashing her head against the freaking woodpeckers hitting the thing, so she's hitting her head against the two. And I love how the ghost Sprig, or hallucination Sprig's like, "It's the most beautiful dance I've ever seen." So it distracts this thing, and the funny part is Anne is not even watching. This thing, look at this thing looking at her. it's gonna kill her. So it lunges at her, and she just so happens to like do a move where she goes down on the ground and it falls into the pit. She didn't even realize that she did it, because the hallucination's like, oh, Anne, you did it, you beat him. And she's like, what do you mean? And she looks down in the hole and she's like, oh yeah, in your face. I do like how the fact, because I thought this thing could totally climb out of this hole. I mean, the hole's not that deep. So it literally gets out, and they don't necessarily defeat the monster, they just get away from it. So they run away, they get back to the camp, and Bessie's there eating the stick surprise because there's nothing else to eat. Everyone's like, oh man, you did it, Anne. You used the planner ways, you did that dance, it was perfect. And then, it was thanks to you, Sprig, and also thanks to you. She looks off screen. She sees the hallucination, but the rest of the family doesn't. They're like, and who are you talking to? Are you okay? You're gone crazy. You're talking to nobody. So I'm assuming they got those little those other things to eat, those little eclair monster things to eat. They get out of there because they don't want to have to deal with that stupid wolf thing again. Then we see that robot. We actually get a good look at it this time. So it's kind of like, like a battle bot thing. It has like a retractable arms and armor, and it's like running into a tree. And then it's like, oh, it steps out of the way and runs into another tree. So I'm assuming this thing isn't too smart. It understands, oh, I'm walking in a straight line. I'm trying to guess. It doesn't look dangerous. Like, look at its face. It doesn't look menacing. So I'm assuming it's going to actually end up helping them, which would be pretty cool, because put Polly in this thing, then she'll have like a Hulkbuster armor, right? That's the end of this episode. A ton of fun. The dancing, the hallucinations. This is just a great comedic episode. And maybe Anne learned a little something about listening to nature, being one with the environment. So she did learn a little bit of a lesson here. And, it ends with this absolutely gorgeous ending with beautiful music. And I'm catching up. I'm super far behind. I'm hearing season 2 is coming to its like end, and it's not going to pick up again till next year. So I guess I have all that time to catch up. But thanks for watching, guys. What was your favorite part of the episode? I like the hallucination and the singing. That was just absolutely hilarious. It caught me so off guard. I paused it just to finish laughing. But great show. Can't wait to get caught up all the way, and catch you guys on the next one.
I am the Hunter!
Crimson Saint here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.